Okay, we are going to do a social media audit on this business, and really I'm going to be walking you through how to do a digital presence audit, because I think that it's really important to go ahead and include the website with what we're doing, because the website is really where your business lives on the web. And if you want to get customers from online, they really have to have a place to congregate, and we have to have a place where all of these social platforms kind of stem from. So this is the home base where I really like to start when I'm doing an audit for a business. And if we don't do an audit before we implement a digital marketing strategy, it's kind of like shooting in the dark. We have to have a starting point so that we're able to see if the methods that we're using are effective for drawing customers from online sources into our actual store. And so here we are at the customer's website. And the very first thing that I like to check out is to see if this is a mobile website. So most of your customers are actually going to be viewing your website through a mobile device. So it's really important that the content is able to come across in a manner in which the customer can read and access the things that they need that are available to them. If we hover over this telephone number here at the top right-hand corner here, you can see at the bottom of my screen it says telephone or tel:573. That means that if they are on a mobile device, you're actually able to click on that number and contact the business. So that's great. If you don't have a phone number at the very top of your website and people have to click something like contact us and then wait for that page to load, and then they get to contact page and maybe you have different locations, our goal when we're trying to make sales and streamline the customer journey is to give them as few steps as possible. And so that's really important. The next thing that I can see here is that this website does not have a Facebook pixel. This is Facebook Pixel Helper. We're going to go to realmoxiemarketing.com. And I'm going to show you what a website looks like when it does have a Facebook pixel installed. Every single business that is on Facebook and has a business page has a Facebook pixel attached to it. You can see here on the top right hand side here that we do in fact have the Facebook pixel installed. So that enables you as a business owner to retarget those people who come to your website. Let's say a customer is going into your services. They found you online or heard about you somewhere. They click on your services and they see that you have 10% off of a tune-up, and they're in the market for that service. And maybe the phone rings, or maybe I have to get back to work, or something interrupts the customer from actually following through with fulfilling this offer. And later on, they go to get on Facebook to do what people do on Facebook, and without the pixel, we cannot retarget those people. Them being on this web page says something about your customer. That says that they probably have an automobile and they're probably in the market for some type of service that you offer, to be able to remind your customer that you have this great offer for them to go ahead and take advantage of. And without the Facebook pixel, we cannot run advertisements to them reminding them about your awesome product or service. So that also says to me that you don't have a very deep digital marketing strategy in place that enables you to go ahead and retarget those customers, which essentially is going to drive the cost of customer acquisition down. We want to run ads to people who are highly likely to come into our business as either a new customer or as a repeat customer. So we want to make sure that we're running retargeting campaigns in your Facebook strategy here. And so the next thing I'm going to do from the website is I'm actually going to go down all the way to the bottom, and I like to hit these social links to see what's going on via social media. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the Facebook social link, and we're actually brought to a whoops page, which means that whoever designed the website did not put the correct URL for Facebook in this widget. So if anybody wants to go from your website to Facebook, they're actually going to be brought to a wrong place. And that might signal to somebody that maybe you don't have a Facebook, right? So let's go back over to Facebook. I've actually searched for the business and pulled it up on Facebook just through the search bar here. And the first thing that I noticed is there are two businesses that look very similar. You can see the similar logo here and the profile picture, the similar title, the similar, it's a repair shop, tire dealer. And it's confusing as a customer to say, well, which place am I going to, right? So let's say we go to this place here that only has 4 likes, what I would maybe consider the imposter page, and we can see that the information here is not filled out all the way. And you also see something here that says, is this your business? If I owned this business, in order to make sure that my customers didn't get confused and we were keeping cohesion with our brand identity here, I would go ahead and claim this business. And what you'll do is you'll contact Facebook and you will say, okay, this is a duplicate page. This happens more often than not. Either Facebook will create a page for you so that people can leave reviews, as you see people have left reviews for this business here, or another thing that happens is that a manager might step on board with your business and they might start a Facebook page, and that manager might leave the business. And with the business, they also take the information that they have for the business page. And so the next manager maybe starts another page with the same title and logo and all of those things. So in an effort to make sure that we are making that customer journey the easiest that we can and not confusing anybody, I would go ahead and claim this page, and then I would merge duplicate pages to this page here, which looks like it's the actual page that you guys are running ads and interacting with people from. As we land on this Facebook page, there are a couple things that I look for right off the bat. One of the first things that I look for is this profile picture here. This just looks like a picture taken of the logo. And what I will say is if we scroll down into the news feed and we look at this profile picture in this teeny tiny little circle here, it's important for brands to be very transparent about who they are. If you saw this just scrolling through the news feed, you would not be able to tell that it says Custom Complete Automotive. You would just see this kind of oval against a blue sky. And so it's really important that you're able to make a really good first impression and be able to have people recognize your brand through your profile picture, because a lot of the times customers are not clicking onto the profile to actually look at these things, especially on a desktop. They're going to probably be on a mobile device, and you want them to be able to have that brand recognition. And the best way to do that is to have a profile picture that's part of maybe your logo or an icon that really represents your business, that they can, quickly identify what the business is. Okay, and I would also keep that same profile picture on almost all of your social platforms so that you're just keeping a very cohesive look across all of your digital presence. The next thing I always tell businesses is that this cover photo here at the very top needs to be typically very simple. Again, we have a lot of text and things like that located in this header image. Most people are looking at your profile through a mobile device, so having little letters like this is going to make it really hard for the customer to see this. And so what I would rather do is maybe showcasing people who work at the business, or some great automotive work that you guys have done, something of that nature where they're not having to actually read from this small picture here. Another thing that I will say is that a lot of businesses will have hours and locations and things like that, just like here. And what happens is when you're looking at it at a mobile device, Facebook's going to clip some of this off. And so if you have important information like, the number of your store, or maybe the hours or the location, something like that you definitely don't want your customer to miss out on. You want to make sure that you put whatever you put in this top photo here. It doesn't matter if part of it is cut off. So if you have a great picture of a restoration that you guys did on a vehicle, and the front or the back or the side or whatever gets cut off, it's not really going to matter. So I would change this top picture here. Now, if you read here, we can see that there's multiple locations with this business. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this locations tab, and I'm going to look at all of the different locations. Now I can see on this map that there are no locations put in here. Facebook has created this locations kind of a platform to enable businesses to send out and give specific information to specific targeted audiences. So let's say we had something happening in St. Louis. We don't want to have the same information sent out to their businesses in Columbia. Every single pocket of business here has its own custom audiences and its own custom ad set. So I would go in here and make sure that I put in all of the different locations, which creates pages for each of these locations, but it enables this page to kind of be the large umbrella page. So the next thing that I would do is I would go down here and look at my about information. We've got a phone number. We've got a website. That looks great. That would be the start of the Facebook. Let's go back to our website, and we're going to click on this Twitter link here. And the Twitter link is going to take us right to your page. I actually like this profile picture a lot better. If you look at it, it's contrasting colors. This is custom. They don't have to see the top and the bottom. If you continue to keep this kind of profile picture out there, people are going to see it and they're going to recognize that that's who you are. Now, I do see that the last time that this was updated was in 2016. So what that says to me is that Twitter really isn't part of your digital marketing strategy currently and hasn't been for quite some time. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to your website again, and I'm going to click on Google+. And let's see what's going on with Google+. So here we actually have another error. This is saying that whoever put this link in this widget did not put the correct link in there, or you do not have a Google+ page. Now, I went and I searched through Google+, and I could not find a profile for this specific brand. But I did Google them, and here is what Google has to say. The business is claimed, so you do have a Google My Business. That's great. We've got the website in here. Great. They've got lots of great reviews. We've got an address. All of this looks really good. You can set appointments. This isn't a specific appointment link. If we click on this right here, you're sent to a contact page, right? So we're not setting an appointment necessarily, but we're telling them to get a hold of us, and we want their services or need an oil change or whatever they're trying to get to happen there. So that's on Google. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over to Instagram, and this is not on the page. If you notice, we don't have an Instagram link here on the bottom of the page. So I would maybe take out this Google Plus or this Twitter since you're not using it, and I would put in the Instagram widget here, and I would connect it to this page. So again, we have a nice logo. I would maybe make this a little bit bigger, but that's not too big of a deal. And we're going to look at some of the content that we have here. I'm not really sure what's going on here. People interacting, people having conversation. Let me see here. Don't wait until the last day of the month. So I think this is great. We're talking about a state inspection. Now, what I will say is that Instagram wants things to be square, so like a 1 by 1. So that's why when we go back here, you can see that this is kind of cut off. And so in the news feed, that might look a little bit silly. Check engine, yep, it's still there. That's kind of funny. Letting people know a little bit about your brand. That's cool. I bet this is about when to get your tires. Tires look like this. Come see us. it might be nice to have a little bit of an offer in here. Maybe you want to have some kind of special tire offer. You're going to want to, when you're making a post on social, it's for a reason typically. So you want to have a call to action. Not only are you building brand awareness, but you also want to have a call to action that says, call us for a tire quote or a tire rotation, or we're having this specific deal on tires. So it looks like you guys are posting on Instagram. It doesn't really look like there's a rhyme or a reason for your posting. So that's what I'll say about Instagram here. The next platform is going to be YouTube. It's the second highest, search platform out there. And so I think YouTube is a really important place to make sure that your brand is making a mark here. As I type in the brand name here, a couple of different videos show up. This video, I know, is of the actual business. But the thing is it's a cute video and everything, but when you go down here into the description, there's nothing here. It's like if somebody was looking for you on YouTube, they really just hit a dead end. Maybe they really want your product or service, but they can't get to it because they don't know. There's no link here. There's no contact information. This person doesn't even work for the company. I mean, you could be like, oh, well, maybe this Ben works for the business and I can contact him. But if you go through here, you can actually look and see that he's creating videos for a lot of different businesses. So we're not even really able to follow that trail and get to where we want to get to. So I would recommend creating a channel. Again, I would connect it down here. Make sure you have a widget that says follow us on YouTube, because YouTube's going to be a place where you can show how-tos, you can show testimonials. Video in motion creates emotion. Video is so important when you're trying to get to know the customer and let the customer know who you are. So really, I see that you're trying. I see that you have a couple, social channels set up, but ultimately, I think what would be most important is for you to sit down and map out a strategy in which we're going to drive people from this page. Let me look here at the info and the ads. So it looks like you're currently running an ad for oil changes. So if we click on this ad here, let's go back to info and ads here. Okay, there is a little button that says contact us, and it just draws us back here to this home page. Let's go to info and ads again. Looks like you have a carousel ad going here. And again, okay, auto repair, request an appointment today. There's really not a ton of incentive to click on this or contact. There's no urgency or anything like that. So if you click contact us, and then here, this ad is actually set up to show where your locations are. So it's got your hours, it's got phone numbers. So if somebody wants to kind of help themselves, they can fumble around and find out how to, request an appointment or something of that nature. I would say that probably the best thing to do, let's say for this, welcome back students, thank you to our loyal customers. So you have a $30 oil change. I would have this actually go to a landing page where you would collect information from people. So you collect names, numbers, emails, so that you have a database outside of Facebook where you can market to those people for free. Instead of having to run ads over and over and over again, the thing about advertising is the minute that you stop running ads for these people, then you're kind of gone. So the goal is to run advertisements and then collect additional information. So again, the cost of acquisition goes down. So the next step would be to create, A to B, 60, 90, 6 months. Create a list of goals of what you want your social media to do, how many customers you want it to bring in, and, just how am I going to create value through my social media to draw those customers to call my business. And most importantly, we want to make sure that when we are getting customers, we know where they're coming from. And I'll talk to you soon.